Ever feel like you're running on that treadmill but getting nowhere?
Yeah.
That's how I felt before I tried this 21-day time management challenge, the one we're diving into today.
Okay.
And it's not just like checking off a to-do list, it's about like really conquering that feeling of overwhelm
Right.
and actually making progress on the things that matter.
Yeah.
Like we're talking SMART goals,
Mm-hmm.
the Eisenhower matrix,
Okay.
even something called the Pomodoro technique.
Interesting.
Intrigued. Let's get started.
So what's interesting is that this challenge tackles this like fundamental problem so many of us face, that
Mhm.
gap between, you know, our good intentions and our
Mhm.
actual actions. Like
Mhm.
we start wanting to be more productive, but without a system,
Right.
just easy to get lost in the chaos.
Oh, so true.
Oh no.
I've definitely been there.
Yeah.
I remember like writing, be more productive on my to-do list. Talk about setting yourself up for failure.
Yeah.
But this whole SMART goals concept seems to be key here.
Mhm.
I've heard the term before, but I always thought it was like just a fancy way to say set good goals.
Okay.
Is there more to it than that?
Absolutely. SMART is way more than just an acronym.
Yeah.
It's really a powerful framework that makes you think about your goals and set yourself up for success.
Okay.
So let's break it down.
Okay.
Each part is crucial: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound.
Okay. I see how making goals specific is important.
Mhm.
So instead of saying, I want to read more, you'd say, I want to read one book a month.
Right.
But what about the other parts? How do they all work together?
Okay, so imagine trying to hit a target.
Okay.
Specific is what the target is.
Okay.
Measurable lets you track how close you are.
Hmm.
Achievable means the target's within reach.
Right.
Relevant makes sure you're aiming at the right target.
Okay.
And time bound adds a deadline to keep you motivated.
I see how this is more than just setting any goal.
Yeah.
It's like being strategic and intentional.
Mm.
How does this actually work? Can you give me an example?
Sure, let's take that read more goal.
Okay.
A smart version could be, I will read one nonfiction book per month for the next 6 months, focusing on topics related to my career.
Okay.
It's specific, you can track it, it's probably achievable,
Mhm.
it's relevant to your career, and there's a clear time frame.
Wow, that's a big difference.
Right.
It's like going from a fuzzy idea to a laser focused plan.
Exactly.
I can see how that would be more motivating.
Yeah.
So we've got our SMART goals.
Okay.
Now, how do we actually make them happen?
Mm-hmm.
Life gets busy and it's easy for good intentions to get lost.
That's where the Eisenhower matrix comes in.
Okay.
This tool from President Eisenhower helps you categorize tasks based on their urgency and importance.
Mm.
It's a filter to identify what really needs attention and what can be ignored or delegated.
Oh, this is interesting. A colleague of mine used to swear by it.
Really?
He said it totally changed how he worked. I remember him talking about 4 quadrants, but I never really got it.
Okay, well, picture a square with 4 quadrants.
Okay.
The top left is for urgent and important tasks.
Mhm.
These are the fires to put out.
Okay.
Deadlines, crises, things needing your attention right now.
Got it. The drop everything category.
Right.
What about the other ones?
The top right is important, but not urgent tasks.
Okay.
These help your long-term goals,
Mhm.
but don't have an immediate deadline.
Okay.
Like planning, relationships, new skills,
Right.
or those passion projects that get pushed aside.
Ah, this is where I struggle.
Yeah.
It's easy to let those slip, even though I know they matter.
I know, it's hard.
What about the bottom two?
Bottom left is urgent, but not important.
Right.
These are often distractions disguised as urgent things.
Mm.
Interruptions, unnecessary meetings, or requests from others that could be delegated.
Interesting. So it's about learning to say no
Yes.
or finding better ways to handle these without derailing the day.
Exactly. And finally, the bottom right. Neither urgent nor important.
Uh-huh.
These are your time wasters.
Gotcha.
Mindless scrolling, binge watching, things that don't help your goals.
Oh, I think we all have some of those.
Right.
So the key is to really identify those and cut them out.
Exactly. By being mindful of where your time goes,
Mhm.
you can free up space for what matters. It's about making choices about your most valuable resource, time.
I can already see how this could change how I approach my to-do list.
Mm-hmm.
It's like going from reactive, putting out fires,
Right.
to being more proactive and intentional.
Exactly.
How do we actually use this matrix? Just sit down with the list and sort.
That's a good start.
Okay.
But the power is in weaving it into your daily routine.
Mm.
It's asking yourself, where does this task fall
Okay.
before committing your time?
So instead of reacting to what pops up,
Yes.
we're in control and making choices about how we spend our time.
Exactly. And speaking of taking control, this 21-day challenge also introduces time blocking, which is a total game changer for productivity.
Okay.
And it ties in with the Eisenhower matrix stuff.
Time blocking, huh?
Yeah.
I heard of it, but I was pictured like a super rigid schedule
Yeah.
where every minute is planned out.
Yeah, it's not quite like that.
Okay.
Time blocking is more about being intentional.
Okay.
Instead of just letting time slip away, it's about designing your day to fit your goals.
Okay.
Like you're an architect. But instead of buildings, you're designing your perfect day.
Okay. That's a much better way to think about it.
Right.
So I'm choosing what to focus on during certain times.
Exactly.
Instead of just randomly jumping between tasks.
Yeah, and the best part is you can adapt it.
Okay.
Some people like 90-minute blocks with breaks. Others prefer shorter focus bursts.
Okay.
You experiment and find what works for you.
Makes sense.
It's finding a rhythm for focus and energy.
But wouldn't a schedule like that be too rigid? Like, what if something unexpected happens?
It's not about being in a prison schedule.
Right.
It's a framework, like a roadmap.
Right.
You have your destination, but can adjust the route.
Okay, that's reassuring.
Good.
I'm seeing how it could actually create more freedom, not less.
Yeah.
But how does this connect to the Eisenhower matrix? How do we make time for those important but not urgent things?
That's the key.
Okay.
Time blocking forces you to schedule those in.
Right.
Instead of them getting pushed aside, you intentionally make time for them.
So no more last minute scrambling because I forgot something important.
Exactly.
It's like I'm finally controlling my schedule.
Yes.
Instead of it controlling me.
And here's a tip. Don't forget self-care.
Okay.
It's crucial for staying productive.
Yeah.
So whether it's a workout, reading, or time with loved ones,
Right.
schedule time for things that recharge you.
Okay, so we've got SMART goals, the matrix for prioritizing, and now time blocking for structure.
It's like a productivity trifecta.
Right. But even with all that, distractions happen.
Yeah.
And procrastination.
It's really...
Any advice for those moments?
Of course, distractions are everywhere.
Uh-huh.
And procrastination can kill productivity.
Yeah.
But there are strategies.
Okay, give me your best tips.
Okay, first, figure out your biggest distractions.
Okay.
Is it social media, email notifications?
Oh, tell me about it.
Yeah.
My phone knows exactly when I'm about to work.
Right.
And those quick social media checks that turn into hours.
It happens. But
Yeah.
once you know your triggers, you can minimize them.
So how do we actually do that?
It's about a distraction-free environment.
Okay.
Think of it like a fortress of focus.
Okay.
Turn off notifications, log out of social media, maybe use website blockers.
Okay.
Some people even put their phone in another room.
Wow. Okay.
It can help.
Okay. Those are good for external distractions.
Yeah.
But what about internal ones?
Yeah, what?
You know, those nagging thoughts.
Right.
Or the urge to clean my desk instead of working.
Procrastination.
Yeah. How do we deal with that?
It's tough.
It feels impossible sometimes.
But it's often rooted in fear or feeling overwhelmed.
Okay.
One technique is breaking big tasks into smaller ones.
Right.
Like climbing a mountain one step at a time.
It does feel less daunting that way.
Right. And speaking of breaking things down,
Yeah.
this challenge has the Pomodoro technique.
Ooh, it's a Pomodoro technique.
Yeah.
I've heard of it, but not sure what it is.
It's named after those tomato timers.
Oh, okay.
It's all about focused intervals.
Okay.
You work for 25 minutes, no distractions, then a 5-minute break.
Okay.
Repeat that 4 times.
Mm-hmm.
Then a longer break, 20, 30 minutes.
So it's built-in focus and rest.
Exactly.
I see how that would help with burnout.
Yeah.
But wouldn't that make it harder to get in the flow?
It's not about being rigid.
Okay.
It's about finding a balance. You can adjust the times,
Okay.
experiment with breaks, even combine it with time blocking.
Okay.
It's about finding what keeps you focused and energized.
So we've talked about SMART goals, the matrix, time blocking, even fighting distractions and procrastination.
A lot of good stuff.
But it's not just doing these once.
Right. Consistency is key.
Okay.
This challenge emphasizes review and adjustment.
So it's not set it and forget it.
Okay.
Treat it like an experiment. Try things, see what works, make changes.
So we're actively reflecting on what's working.
Exactly.
How do we do that?
This challenge suggests a journal
Okay.
or a digital note-taking app to track progress and reflect on strategies.
Like a time management lab notebook.
Exactly.
Okay, I like that.
So what should we be paying attention to?
Yeah.
It's a time to check in with yourself.
Okay.
See how your system is working. Are you more in control?
Right.
Making progress on goals?
Yeah.
Any areas where you're struggling?
Okay.
By noticing those patterns,
you can adjust as needed.
So I might notice I'm most productive in the mornings.
Right.
Or that some tasks drain my energy faster.
Exactly.
And then I can change my schedule.
It's like being your own time management coach.
I love that.
Tuning your approach based on what you learn.
This is making me realize time management isn't about rules. It's about self-awareness.
Yes.
And finding my own rhythm and needs.
It's about empowering yourself to create a system that works for you.
I like that. Not against me.
Right. And it's a journey, not a destination.
Okay.
There will be good days and chaotic days.
Right.
Be kind to yourself, learn, and keep iterating.
This is making me feel so much more optimistic. I feel like I have the tools to change things.
That's great. And you don't have to do it alone.
Okay.
There are so many resources.
Yeah.
Books, podcasts, online courses. Don't be afraid to ask for help.
True.
Or connect with others on the same path.
That's a great reminder.
Right.
There's so much support out there.
Right. And speaking of support, time management can be tough for people juggling lots of things.
Oh, yeah.
Parents, caregivers, students, entrepreneurs.
Absolutely.
They face unique challenges.
Right. It's different when your schedule is unpredictable.
Exactly. And while the principles apply to everyone, the best strategies will vary.
So it's about finding what works for me.
In the context of your life.
And not trying to fit into a mold that doesn't work.
Right. Be flexible, adaptable.
Okay.
And keep experimenting until you find a system that fits.
It's about feeling empowered, not restricted.
Exactly. And it's okay to ask for help. Delegate tasks, lean on loved ones.
Right.
Or even hire a professional organizer.
Yeah, sometimes we try to do it all ourselves.
It's true.
But support can make a big difference.
It really can.
Okay.
And remember, small changes can be big.
Yeah.
It's not about changing everything overnight. It's about consistent steps.
Small steps towards a more intentional life.
Exactly. Building those positive habits.
One step at a time.
They add up over time.
Like compound interest.
Exactly. Small investments in your skills.
Okay.
Will pay off big in the long run.
This has been so empowering.
I'm glad.
I have so many new tools to tackle chaos.
Great.
Time management feels like a skill now.
It is a skill.
Not a chore.
I'm glad to hear that shift.
Yeah.
And it's not just about getting things done.
Right.
It's about aligning your life with your values.
Yeah.
And creating a life that feels meaningful.
It's about taking control and using our time intentionally.
To create the life we want.
Exactly. That's powerful.
It really is.
Well, we've covered so much in this challenge. SMART goals, the Eisenhower matrix.
Yes.
Time blocking, fighting distractions.
All important stuff.
But I like how it goes beyond the strategies.
What do you mean?
It asks us to apply these to a specific area.
Oh, right. Where we feel overwhelmed.
Yes, it's not just abstract ideas. It's about making a real change.
I'm glad you see that.
I'm curious to explore that more.
Me.
To see how to bridge that gap between theory and practice.
It's a perfect way to wrap up our deep dive.
I agree. So let's dive into that final exercise.
Okay.
And see how to transform chaos into calm.
Sounds good. I think what's really cool about this last exercise is how it helps us go beyond the general stuff
Hmm.
and focus on one specific area we're stuck in.
Yeah, I really like that about this whole
Oh,
challenge.
yeah.
It's not just like concepts, you know.
Right.
It's about giving us tools for real change.
Exactly.
So how does this exercise work?
Well, first think of an area where you feel overwhelmed. It
Okay.
could be work, family, a project you've put off,
Mm-hmm.
even just household chores.
Okay.
Anything that stresses you out.
Okay, got it. I'm picturing this corner of my desk.
Oh, yeah.
I keep meaning to clean it. It's definitely stressful.
So how do we go from that feeling to taking action? This is where SMART goals come in again.
Okay.
How can you use that framework for this area?
So instead of, I need to organize my desk,
Right.
I'd say, I will clear my desk and make a filing system by the end of the week.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You went from vague to actionable.
Okay.
Now you can use the Eisenhower matrix.
Okay.
What needs to be done first? What can wait? What can you delegate or get rid of?
It's like I'm seeing it. It's not this huge mountain of tasks.
Right.
I can break it down and make progress.
Exactly.
Then how can time blocking help?
You can schedule time for these tasks, even small blocks, consistently make progress.
It's all about being intentional.
Yes.
Making sure we're doing what's important.
But distractions still happen.
Yeah.
Any advice for those moments?
Please.
It's about recognizing your patterns. Do you get sucked into social media?
All the time.
Then schedule time for it instead of letting it take over.
Okay.
Is your desk a trigger for procrastination?
Yeah.
Clear off a small section each day.
Okay.
Small wins build momentum.
I'm realizing time management isn't about being perfect. It's more about self-awareness, trying things out, and finding what helps me feel in control.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
It's a journey of learning what works for you.
Okay.
And even if you don't get it perfect, the process itself is valuable.
It's the journey, not the destination.
Exactly.
Every step towards clarity and control is a win.
I like that.
So we can use this exercise anytime we feel stuck.
Yes, use it again and again to make changes.
This has been amazing.
I'm glad you think so.
I have a whole new view of time management.
Good.
It's not just about doing more. It's about living my values.
I'm so happy to hear that.
Yeah.
So to wrap up,
Okay.
think about that area we talked about.
Mm-hmm.
What's one small step you can take today
Okay.
to apply these principles and find some calm?
That's a great question to think about.
Right.
And remember, even a tiny action can make a difference.
It's true.
So take that step, and until next time, keep diving deep